So hello everybody. Today, welcome. Saturday. Hopefully we get some people in here in a minute. More than welcome to chat down below. We're doing plants today. This is basil, and some of these are doing really good, and I'm not as worried about them as I thought I was going to be. This one needs to be cut. Oh. So we need to add a little bit of dirt. We got some dirt here, brand new dirt from this morning. I already watered it, so it's nice and wet. You have to have water. The dirt has to be nice and wet in order to do this. So we're putting the ones that are completed over here, and we're planting the brand new clippings. I'll be able to move the camera over and show you all that in a minute. Looks like there's nobody yet. So some of these didn't make it, like this one here. That didn't make it. Here's one. Okay, this one is done really good. In fact, that is a. Is that a basil? Yeah, that's a new basil there. There's a little one right there. Well, there's somebody here. Everybody can feel free to comment down below. What we're doing, these are basil. Like that's this plant here. And then the ones, once I've done things to them, are going over here. I can actually move the camera over to show you where I'm putting the clippings. And so this here, that's a clipping. I don't use root toner. A lot of people say, oh, you got to use a root toner. I don't. I make the plants figure it out so that, either they're going to make it or they're not. And so what I'm doing here is like this one, like they're doing good, but in a straight line. If you wonder why basil or other plants too, it's not just basil, why they branch out. Well, they branch out once you trim them. And what we're doing is the top of it is called, it's called topping. Basically, we're topping the basil so that it will branch out. So this one we just cut. You see that cut right there? That will branch. That will cause that to branch out. So once they're completed, I'm putting them over here, and I'll show you just a minute. Where the clippings are and how good they look. These are really healthy clippings. So that turns one plant into two, basically, or in some cases, three or four if we can get enough clippings. Here's another one. Now, these are pretty tall. I don't think they're quite 2 feet, but these are pretty tall. They're doing good. And here in Florida, the basil usually, it's been a weird year for our weather. Our weather's been colder than normal. And basil does not like our humidity. Our humidity's been high, so it should have killed the basil by like June or July. The basil should have. Usually, it's hard to keep it. Some people can grow it, but people always complain to me, how come all my basil's dead? And that's your clipping right there. I see some people have commented. Hold on just a second. I'll answer you. But this is so this is basil. This is edible. You can eat this. As far as I know, you can eat all basil, but check that just to make sure. Is that Froggy? That don't look like Froggy. That looks like somebody different. Are you Froggy or you? It says Frogs. I think that's somebody different. But everybody's more than welcome. Thank you for joining. Hello, I don't speak English. Hello, Paulo. Hola. Here in Florida, we got a lot of people who speak Spanish, so I'm kind of used to that. And then frogs. Hello, welcome everybody. We're doing basil right now. This is the one I just cut. And then this is for example, this one we could cut here like I've been doing the other ones, but I don't think there's enough life right here. So in this case, we're not going to do that because it has to have enough to get a cutting like right here. There would have to be enough life here for it to survive. So this one, we're gonna call it. This one, same thing probably, because even if we cut it here, actually, you know what? This one will work. I already watered the all the dirt that I'm using because, like you said, you seem to know what you're doing. And yes, I follow somebody named Froggy. That's who I thought you were at first. And she actually she does gardening inside a lot, and she uses what's called glow lights, and she has a cup of water with her. And I'll ask her, hey, are you watering this? Yeah, water is important. But I already watered all the dirt. I took the dirt outside and watered it. So, like with a hose. So it's all good. And then any bad leaves, that happens. Any bad leaves I take off. And there's your clipping. This tray here, I got a tray. It's got, there's a few more basil here we need to do. So this is a clipping. So now I can start moving all these back to the tray. So as far as creating new plants goes, basically what we're doing right now, we're creating new plants. And so all of these I'm putting back in here. We need to move this. Let's move the camera over to the right a little. My right, your left, I think. There we go. So these are the ones that were already there and we got clippings off of. When you do that, you might be able to see on the top of them where I cut them. That's going to create the they're going to branch out. Now, usually basil, I mentioned it a minute ago, usually basil doesn't do too well once it gets humid in Florida, but this year it's doing very well. So that's the whole reason why we're doing this. This one is already branched out, so we get more than one cutting off of it. So we want to go probably here. And we got some cactus we're about to work on. We got either today or tomorrow, I'm going to start on the rubber trees. And I got more work to do with the cranberry hibiscus and bird of paradise. So you'll be seeing a lot more stuff. Let's see. Right now, I'll probably show you guys where. I forget the name of this plant. I need to plant identify it. Some of you might know what that is. You can put it down in the comments. Got weed growing right in the middle of it. So all the weeding and everything, if I can, some I have to do out in the yard, but if I can, I move everything in here. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, if I can do everything at a table, it's a whole lot easier than doing it on the ground. And once I have everything up on tables, once I have tables built, that's going to make things a lot easier. Down. Yeah, I need some kind of tripod or something to hold that up. I need camera people. I need tech people. Okay, these are the brand new clippings. Oh yeah, you can see them real good. Yeah. I may not be so bad at the camera work as I thought. Yep. Looks like we got one person. Feel free to comment down below. So far we got Frogs and what's the other person's name? They said, I think it was Paulo. He said he didn't speak English. So yeah, these are the brand new clippings. We're going about to do a couple more. And you'll get to see. Let's see here. So there's a brand new clipping. Any bad leaves we're able to remove. That's going to stimulate growth. So normally in October here in Florida, it's getting closer to our winter. We don't got much in the way of winter, but it can be pretty detrimental to certain plants. But usually basil like our winter. So now we're getting into good basil time. But normally it's not growing season anymore, really. So normally I would never do this in October because it's time to cut back rather than have stuff growing. But in this case, the basil's been doing so good this year, I trusted it. It's at the point where cuttings need to happen. So that's that. We got, I think, 2 or 3 more basil. Yeah, we got some. I got rosemary. Growing into a cactus. So we gotta work on getting the rosemary out of the cactus. And then we got to, oh yeah, this one's no good. Yeah. So we're gonna save this one. If the bottom of the basil plant is like dead, then we don't want to keep it, but it's got life growing all over the place. And that's true with a lot of plants. It's got life growing all over the place, then we want to take the life, in this case clippings, and make new life with it. I don't like the way that one's curved. I don't know if you can see how curved that one is. I do not like that one bit. Because you want the plants to be straight. So we're going to plant it in such a way that it's straight. So somebody had mentioned the need for water. Yeah, I did water. I watered all the dirt before I got started today. So this tray, I think I may have one more basil. No, is that it? Oh yeah, there's one more. Looks like. So yeah, as I said before, it's amazing that the basil. You see Alice. Hey Alice, I recognize you. How are you doing? Good to see you. I'm pretty sure you're the same Alice. Are you the Nikki Alice? I think you're the Nikki Alice. How are you doing? I'm good, and you? Yeah, are you the Nikki Alice? The Alice I think you are. Yes. Okay. Okay. Cool. I know you. You never know nowadays. There's so many people on the YouTube. I'm glad to see you. This is basil we're doing right now. These are clippings. Everything right here you see is clippings. Then the ones I got it from, I'll show you in just a second. I can't turn the camera around in a live because this camera will end the live if I do that. So I gotta hold it. I think. Yeah, you can see that. Lighting ain't too good in here. I need to get better lighting. These are some of the plants that are ready to go out. And these are the plants that I got the clippings from. Some of them are like 2 feet. So the basil, when you do clippings like that, it'll cause the basil to branch out. And then these are the brand new ones. This is a tray here, but we're gonna keep, as you can see, we're gonna keep that tray because we're gonna do some rose clippings. And I didn't use every one for the basil. So some of those pots will be perfect for the rose cuttings. So if I can move this tray I can move. And that will give us more room. So let's see, where's that big rose? I don't even see it. Did I put it on the ground? Oh, here it is. These are miniature. Let me get the camera moved around so you can see. These are miniature. If you ever been in the grocery store and you see miniature roses, don't think that people will just let them die. They don't realize these can become a huge bush. Now they're still a miniature rose. They're not like the same as a big rose plant, but as you can see, they can get out of control where we got, as you can see, how long some of these got. These long pieces of a rose, if they're like 1.5 2 feet, we can turn them into clippings. So we're going to do some weeding. These are weeds. Some weeds that we have here in Florida are like vines and stuff. Whoa, ouch. Okay, yep, we got thorns on the rose bush. That's for sure. Not as big as, I don't know if you've seen videos of my thorns on my lemon trees. Now them are some thorns. Them thorns is like that. Like they'll get you. That ain't just like getting like thorns on accident. That's like getting stabbed. The lemon tree has got some serious thorns. So, all right. So what we're doing now, most people will wear gloves because there's thorns, but I don't really care. Okay, now if there's flowers or dead flowers, you're gonna cut the flowers. With most flowers, you get it when you do clippings, you cut the flower off, even though that's sad. You don't want to cut the flower off, but the reason you cut the flower off is because that's that clipping. So the reason you cut the flowers off is so that the plant doesn't want to be, you don't want the plant giving energy to that flower. You want the plant giving the energy to grow more. So with most flowers, that's the rule of thumb. Let's see. They look good. I was wondering about that. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so these rose bushes, what ends up happening, and by doing these clippings, I'm creating more. And what ends up happening is so A, we get more plants, but B, it makes this plant healthier because if it's got these kind of stringy things that's sending out. And usually, I was mentioning with the basil, usually the roses do really well in our winter. And right now it's not looking that way. It's partially because I've neglected it this year, but when we do clippings like this, then in those little pots, the reason I use those little pots is you want the roots to fill up that little pot, and then you're going to move it into, whether it be 3 gallon to sell it or whatever it may be. Now, if some of these are completely dead, but they're is that connected to the main plant? Nope, it's not. That's why it didn't make it. And then there again, this one here. Yep. And then so when the parts that come out, we'll probably going to keep this one. But the parts that grow out, then I can get cuttings from them and make more plants. Now, when you do cuttings, A, like I said, makes new plants, but B, it makes this plant far more healthy because now it has an opportunity. It stimulates the growth. It tells the plant, oh, we gotta do more. Hello, see some new people here. So I forget, someone may know, you might be able to comment. I forget what plant that is. There's a weed right in the middle of it. We want the weed. I'm gonna get that weed out. Without hurting the root. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this one. Yeah, that needs more dirt in it. And you gotta water before you do this. You gotta water the dirt, so the dirt is wet. Because even though it doesn't seem like a long time, these new clippings cause trouble. This is a tulip. We're still working on these roses, and these are not big enough. Where did I put the oh, here it is. I'm gonna cut this. Here, let me get the rose back where you can see it that I'm working on. So let's see, we got John Wallace. I think I recognize you. Here, let me. There we go. We added some moderators. I've already got Gemini as a moderator and Copy as a moderator. I think I got like 2 or 3 more. So this is the tulip. And the cool thing about tulips is every year they're gonna, when I started this, I did not know, I still don't know every plant, and I didn't know every thing. Tulips actually have what's called a bulb, and as long as that bulb is okay, some plants have tubers, ginger does, and Canis indica does, and tulips and caladium have what's called bulbs. This one, is that a tulip or is that might be a peace lily? Yeah, that might be a peace lily. That's either a peace lily or a tulip. I want to say it's a tulip because it was right next to this one. Got some grass growing in here. Oh, my bad. You all can't see all that. Got weeds real close to the roots. So we're holding this plant. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing with my left hand. I'm holding the plant down so when I pull these weeds out, it's not pulling out the actual plant. So it needs more dirt when you do that because you're moving the weeds. The weeds are real close to the roots. It's kind of unsettling everything. Plants can die from that. It's called root shock. It's not very common, but I mean most of them are going to make it. But if you're messing with the roots, it's called root shock, and particularly when you move them from one place to another, they can do that. Let's see, this is a miniature rose. Now, sometime in spring, I'll be moving this to a 3-gallon, and they can get. There's somebody up in town, and it's if you look at my channel, someone's got miniature rose bushes where they do become a huge bush, even though they're called miniature roses. And I was up there in town, and they were doing good. They usually do good this time of year. Mine are not, but the basil is doing good. It should not be this time of year, so it's a little off. Let's see what we have. We have a couple more of them roses over there. We also have the cactus. This is my main cactus. The cactus itself is ugly, and it will create new life here. Now you can see it even has like a chunk missing out of it. I don't know if an animal ate that or what happened, but it's got rosemary that decided to grow in it. Sometimes when you have roots and things, I call it root debris, but roots will, if they end up in a pot, they'll spring up. So sometimes I'll accidentally have other plants springing up in something. So what we're going to try to do is you gotta be careful, but we're going in. Let's see what pot we want to put this in. Probably these guys. So what we gotta do is go in here with your finger. You're going after the new rosemary that sprouted. You're going after the roots. Wow, these roots are crazy strong. What the heck? They're not usually that. Rosemary is usually not that. Wow. Okay. So that's what that's going to look like. They're going deep rather than going out. They're going deep. So I need to press down far in that. Wow. I need to make even a bigger hole to put that in. Yeah, I wasn't expecting all of that. That's crazy. So we'll probably put a few more of these rosemary in that. Yeah, herbs have been doing very, very well. I had a couple that didn't make it, but usually they can't handle the humidity here in Florida, the herbs. So I'm shocked. I'm shocked that the herbs are doing so well. There. There's your brand new rosemary plant. Get that out of the cactus. Now these parts of the cactus, here, let's remove this weed so you can see it better. This part of the cactus, like I said, looks like a chunk got bit out of it. And then it's growing here. And that's where the other cactus you're about to see come from. And so, of course, I would never sell this because it's got a big chunk missing out of it. But when it creates more life, normally I would remove those, but I'm going to let it create life. It'll actually create life on top of these cactuses. That's what I'm letting it do. So that's why I'm not messing with it yet. But I need to remove these rosemary. Oh, that one might have broke. That one might have broke. I don't know if there's enough root there to save that one. Yeah, I don't know why their roots are going so deep. That's not like rosemary. They're going like straight down like it's a tree. Deep. Yeah. I don't grow ginseng, but yes. If I had, you guys, I don't know how far back you gotta go in my videos, but I've done videos on bird of paradise and ginger. I'll be doing videos. I'm a little bit behind in getting ready for winter. With ginger, you cut back before the winter. I'm about a month and a half behind, but if this winter is warm, which I'm hoping for, then we'll be okay. So this is the cactus. It's kind of ugly, but it's creating new life. So that's what we want to do. That's what they call propagation. That's where life comes from. I'm not like a cactus expert, but I need to get the cactus soil. They got soil for cactus. It's usually drier because they do better with that's another thing. The cactus did so well this year, and the humidity was high, and usually cactus does not do good here. There are people that grow cactus in Florida, but it's usually much more difficult. Those I might put in a tray with the basil. Yep. Because they're both herbs, it makes sense. So this is another tulip. Need to weed it out. This is another cactus. This is one of the cactus that came from that ugly cactus that I was showing you. That one probably did not need much work. It's probably pretty good. And I'll make a few more videos explaining all this today. Besides that, one question I do have, and you guys may not have, I was going to ask people who got channels, you guys may know the answer. I don't know how to take a live I've already done and then repost it so other people can watch the live. I know you can do that. So every time I've done a live, it's just a live. Because I don't know how to post it. I don't know how to repost it so that people can watch it again. And I think that'll help my channel. So if you guys know how to do that, I got to ask other creators like Mary, Nikki. y'all might know how to do that. I don't know if I know if Gemini was here. Gemini knows how to do that. I think she's pretty smart with that kind of stuff. So here's a rose we just trimmed up and added some dirt to. That's a miniature rose. And probably in spring I'm gonna move those to 3-gallon pots. Yeah, ginseng. Yeah, but I don't grow ginseng. I want to grow sassafras, but sassafras is illegal. I don't know if it still is. It was because sassafras is a medicine. And if they use it to make things like candy or whatever, I want to grow it. So someone might want to buy it from me after this property. If I find a place that's, got a couple acres where I can grow, I don't need like 7 acres. But plants like sassafras would be good if somebody's trying to make something out of sassafras. But because it's a medicine, it can heal like so many things. They don't want people using it, so they made it illegal. I don't know if it still is. So there for a while, the sassafras candy was made with alternative, like basically fake. What do they call it? Artificial flavoring with the sassafras. Now, whether or not my information's a little old, so whether or not they've made new laws that made it okay to grow sassafras again, that's something I would really like to do. But I do grow ginger. I can't believe I got through all that so quickly. I'm almost done. I need more plants. I'm about to do the arrowheads. I gotta do rubber trees too. But yeah. Let me see if somebody wrote down how to do that. Oh no, I'm not okay, I'm not turning the live off. All right. Yeah, I would love to know how to do that, because if you post your live after the live, I know a lot of people do that, then other people can watch the live even though they missed it. I think that would really help out my channel. Because a lot of things I watch, I missed the live, so I gotta watch it after it was live. Some things aren't as good. You want to catch it when it's live, but if someone misses it, they can see it after. Yeah, this cactus don't look too good, but like that other one, even if it's an ugly cactus, it'll make new life, and that's what we want. So. This is one more tulip. Let me check and make sure. This is one of the cactus. I don't want to trim that leaf because there's only 2. There's only 2 leaves. I don't normally trim. Some plants will work even if you take all the leaves off. They'll still be okay. But you should really look up each plant. Be careful, because if you take off all the leaves, most of the time the plant's not going to make it. So a lot of times I tell people, be really careful how much you trim a plant. If there's 2 bad leaves and 1 good leaf, you might want to temporarily keep the bad leaves, because once all your leaves are gone, yeah, that's kind of it with a lot of plants. But let's see here. Don't turn it off. I'll be right back. Okay, we'll stay going. So I can't turn the phone around with this phone. So I have to these. I wish I could turn that phone around. Yeah, with this phone, it'll end this is an old phone. It'll end the live if I do that. So I gotta show you all this one. And then these are the clippings from the basil. Google says you need to go to your YouTube studio and click visibility and go from there. Okay. YouTube studio. I don't know if I might have had to delete that to have more room on the phone. This is an old phone. I deleted something. I don't know if it was the YouTube studio. So YouTube studio and then click visibility and go from there. Because I think YouTube studio was a different it was a different app if I'm not mistaken. Oh. Okay. I'm going to try to turn this camera around. I do not know if it will work. This is when you weed inside, this is what you end up with. And that's why you have this. These are the basil that those clippings come from. I'm so glad it's letting me turn the camera around. These are the new clippings. Yeah, this is so much easier to do it this way, to just literally make the camera turn around. Yes, it's a different app. Okay, yes, that's what I thought. And then these are the ones ready to go back in the yard. This is all the stuff I worked on today. I can't remember what that's called. Y'all can Google that. It has flowers. This is that rose bush. Y'all can see this view much better than what I'm working on. That's the tulips. See, once you've weeded, weeding inside is probably crazy, but once you've weeded, everything looks a million times better. Now that we've got the phone turned around, not only can we do that. So do you know if once I get that studio thing going, if I could go back to ones I've already done, they are saved on my channel. So I could probably put all of them back on YouTube as well. More than likely. Okay, here's the snake plants. We're doing a tour. These are, I need to weed these. These are the bird of paradise that I already worked on this year. I did root separation where you go in and separate the ones that weren't doing so hot and trim them back. And then that work generated all of this. These were the ones that were already there. So that's, let me see if I can get through here. So that's what it looks like if you don't do that work. That's what it looks like. And then this is a loquat tree. If you know what Japanese plums are, this is a loquat tree. This is some kind of purple thing. Don't eat this. I don't know if you have it in your state here in Florida. That's some kind of purple thing that'll kill you. Don't eat that. And those people that tell you to eat all these plants, like some plants you can eat, but don't go thinking, they call it foraging, where they look for things you can eat. You can make mistakes. Don't just think you can just eat any plant, especially here in Florida, because we got all this stuff that's actually from Asia and stuff, because our weather can support things from other countries. So don't just go eating everything thinking it's okay. And these you can eat, these leaves. This is cranberry hibiscus. These are taller than me. And these leaves are like what they make cranberry hibiscus tea and stuff like that out of. This is another thing that if somebody's trying to make cranberry hibiscus tea, that's another industry that I could definitely, since I'm growing them. There was this one lady, she was using them for her turtle, her tortoise. Tortoises apparently eat hibiscus leaves. These are ginger. These are the shampoo ginger. At the end of the year, that's that pine cone you see on the top of shampoo ginger that you can squeeze. But at the end of the year, it's no longer, like that. Now it's like dead, and so I gotta trim those back. I'll make videos about all that. These are rubber trees. Either tonight or tomorrow I'm gonna do that. It says archive some of them. Well, they're still there. Like you can click on them. Like I can watch them, but I didn't. But as far as reposting them onto YouTube, so if they're still there, all the lives I've done, I might be able to post all of them on YouTube. I don't know. I mean, you're saying that it'll archive some of them. They're all there. So these are arrowhead. I'm going to be doing that either tonight or tomorrow. This is, let's see, we'll go up front. It's I gotta do a tour. If somebody's followed me this far through the live, we gotta do a tour. I redid up front, so it needs some. Part of the reason I'm doing work on the up front needs to be filled out now the way I redid it. F word. I tied that up today. That's Canis and Dinka. When I moved all these, it kind of fell over a little bit, and it hadn't been tied. I thought I had tied it, but I never did. They're not doing so well this time of year. They're not liking October. I see a spider web. These are papaya trees. Some of these are taller than me right now. And these are Croton. And those are snake plants. Iris, I trimmed up and got new clippings off the iris. These are Portocorpus. I planted them in the ground. This, I made a video about it, but this plant actually fell over and rooted in the ground. And this is the one that rooted in the ground. I had to dig it up. And then this is another one that's exactly like it. Those are called yucca. That's a baby. That's the Japanese plums. And that's the Croton, that's Petra. These are the spider plants, and I trimmed them up yesterday and got the babies off to make new plants. That's an arrowhead, but it ain't doing so hot. I watered yesterday, but I need to water these again. They're desperate need of water. So with all the space, basically I moved everything. It was here, and I moved it here because the sun changes once you get close to winter. So we got to move as close to the sun as we can get now that we're moving into winter. These are all the stuff I trimmed. And so this is, when I moved it over is why I need things to put in front of it, and I need things in back of it, which is why. And then I'll need to put things in front of here too. So basically it's going to end up by spring, it'll be twice as big. This whole area here, I'll back up so you can see it better. So if you remember what my display looks like, it's going to be, by spring it should be in great shape. And then of course by April, May, when it'll be the best. You have a great assortment of plants, love it. I say it says it archives some of them. Yeah. Hopefully, I really appreciate your help, Alice, if you're still here. YouTube. Yeah, if I'm able to show all the lives I've already did, I think that's good. Because I know other people do that. Nobody here. Someone might be walking a dog. I don't think anybody here owns a dog like that. There's a lot of different plants. There's I didn't even tell you everything I got, but that's the caladium I like. I need more different kinds. This is caladium. This is papaya trees. That's bamboo. Well, the old, there's so much information I talk about. Some of it is kind of repeat. People might be like, "Didn't he say that last time?" I tend to say things again, but if all the information I've said is on all those lives, that's a lot of teaching that. Yeah, I'll be doing. Like I said, these arrowheads, I'll be doing that either today or tomorrow. And yeah, so I'll probably end the live here, and then check out that YouTube studio, and then work on those, either the rubber trees are the arrowheads. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Alice.